Hello, welcome back to Blue Harvest Toys. Look what we've got. We've got the complete making of Indiana Jones. We're going to have a look through this quickly because it's a big book. I have started reading this, and I tell you what, this is a phenomenal story of a phenomenal film. Well, all 4 films, of course. In Indy, yeah, it is, isn't it? Right, so put him there. You can watch as well. Right, so we're going to get through this. Obviously, I'm not going to read it. I have got up to... I'll show you what I've got up to anyway. We're just going to look at the pictures. We can't read, so we're going to look at the pictures. Right, let's try and manoeuvre this so you can actually see it. That might be interesting. That might be best. So we've got Temple of Doom. Start off with. This is from JW Rinzlers, who did the Star Wars books. Brilliant Star Wars books. If obviously you love Star Wars. You want to know the full story of Star Wars. I mean, the full story. Get that. I have got Star Wars. When I've read that, I'm going to get Empire Strikes Back. When I've read that, I'm going to get Return of the Jedi. Now, we've got Raiders of the Lost Ark here, obviously. We've got all 4. It's more Raiders of the Lost Ark. As you can see, we've got mainly Raiders of the Lost Ark, because that's the start of the character. That's where this character came from. So it's more of the backstory of how the character came to be, and obviously the other 3 films as well. Got George Lucas and Steven Spielberg's forewords in there. I mean, they obviously okayed this book. This was written during Crystal Skull, so it goes back that far. There's all these people that contributed to it, like Ben Burt, Denham Elliott, Harrison Ford, obviously, Pat Roach, John Rhys Davies, you know. So it's complete making of Indiana Jones. Hopefully they might bring another one out. They might bring it either updated version of this book, or just making of the Dial of Destiny. So this is going real back to where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are just starting out. So it's just a bit of a backstory of them, which I have read. So he's just made Close Encounters. Going to make 1941. George has done Star Wars. Just a bit of the background of the Indy character. Obviously Humphrey Bogart. I still need to watch that film. I am going to watch it. I am going to get it. There's Zorro, where he jumps onto the truck, which inspiration. Again, Zorro was inspiration as well. I don't think I talked about that as much. They did some mock-ups of what they wanted to see, and obviously this was going to be just too expensive, and they cut the money back. They cut it back. George wanted to make it for under 20 million, and Stephen said, "Well, you're going to get if you want some £17 million $17 million film, you're going to get $17 million. If you want 20, you're going to get 20." And he says, "Well, just make it 17 then." And he says, "Well, we'll do is this is the first draft summary. This is pretty interesting. It's really, all of this is interesting. I could go real deep dive into this. It's so interesting. But obviously these are, well, like Ralph McQuarrie did pictures for Star Wars. This guy he was told to do 4 paintings of this adventurer, and it's quite good how pretty close that. I mean, that is just a copy of the Zorro, isn't it, really? But this is what the brief he got. These are from 1940s, I think. So somebody drew these in 1940s. It was a comic, and it says he's put notes. George Lucas put notes what he wants these characters to look like, and or Indiana Jones to look like, and he got these out. So yeah, going back to the budget, it's they cut back, and still Steven Spielberg said, "Well, we'll make it like a TV series, a TV movie, then a B movie, will do it like the old times. We'll cut corners, and you know what? That I think that is what is. I don't say wrong about Crystal Skull. I think they made it too. A lot of CGI in it, obviously. They made it too good. If you know, it's got to be like a serial. You know what I mean. Tote was meant to have a mechanical eye and mechanical arm and machine gun. You know what I mean? It was to cut all that back, made it more realistic, and there was meant to be a jet in it. The wing was supposed to have 4 engines, and they couldn't. It was going to cost $1 million, and they only had 750,000. So George just took the model, snapped a couple of engines off, just cutting costs just like that. This is what I've read so far, and it's just so interesting. There's Karen Allen. He's Tom Selleck there. I think with Karen Allen. I think. There's Tom Selleck with Sean Young. So he goes through all the castings as well. This is where I've got to. I've actually got to here. So I've got a lot to read. It's so interesting, and I'll stop blabbering now because you can look at the pictures. So actually, it's funny how the first script was very interesting. There are elements. There was a lot of chases. That they cut out for time and money, and they actually put into Temple of Doom, which is really interesting. The whole Chinese chase into the jungle going to India was actually meant to be the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but cut it and then put it in Temple of Doom. So so there's Indy's original basic outfit to be worn throughout the movie. Making it up as you go along. So yeah, they started out in France because they had the use of the U-boat from Das Boot. It was there, and I think they moved it, and the filmmaker says, "Where's this U-boat?" So they actually used where the U-boat was in France, and that was actually a U-boat dock in France that the Germans used during the war. So it is actually all German. And they said there was still German graffiti on the walls and everything, so it's authentic. That is all authentic. So that's what I mean about, CGI and things like that. Just do things authentically, and it's more believable. So yeah, so that's where the start. That was the first shots is in France. So then we just showing you all the sets in London, all filmed in London. The soundstage, Peruvian temple. There we go. So all that was filmed in London. Very interesting. A lot of these photos you've probably not seen before, unless you've got this book. I mean, I would advise anybody to get this book. It's really good. And yeah, Harrison Ford actually learned to use the whip, and it got cut out. Look at the cars! Wow. I mean, I'm going through all the outfit at the moment, and that is so interesting as well. And there we go. We've got the two guns. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Even getting the outfit together. It's just an interesting story. So interesting. And I'm going to say interesting no more in this video. We're just going to look at the pictures now, I think. So yeah, filming in Tunisia as well, going back to Tunisia where the film Star Wars, and the canyon at the end of Raiders where Indy's got the bazooka is the same canyon where the Jawas caught R2-D2. Yeah, and they all got sick. Yeah, cut scenes as well. A lot of cut scenes. Can't imagine how hot it would have been in that jacket. But there's the wing. It always gets me. How would they have got the arc in there? It's not big enough, I don't think. I always thought that. I was thinking, where would the arc actually have gone? So there's Pat Roach. Bless him. Yeah, the best scene in the best movie ever made. And there's Tote. That's pretty good makeup. So that's the canyon I was on about, yeah. You recognise it. Yeah, and there's the scene where he was supposed to have a proper fight with him. But it wasn't well. So I said, can I just shoot him? And just shot him. Yeah, that's another cut out the scene. There he's holding on to the submarine. I always wondered how he got into that submarine and how he kept attached to it. Oh yeah, and the plane crashed. Yeah. That's where Tote's got his other outfit on. The Harrison Ford's got a different hat on as well. There, it's not his brown hat. That's actually grey. Another thing I've learned from getting my Indy cosplay together. I knew they had. I mean, sure that does look like that definitely looks like a model. But yeah, they did use a full-size U-boat. And these, look at these. I know they had to make masks of these, of the faces like that, and then they filmed them up to there, and then they put the puppets in and blow them up, obviously. Oh, this will be good. Everyday Supernatural Sounds by Ben Burt. That is something I really want. I love Ben Burt. I love the sound effects, especially in Indy. In Red, I mean the gunshot is really good, really emphasised, and the punching as well. I think I forgot how they actually did it. I think it wasn't punching against a pigskin, I don't think. It could have been. That might be in it. That's a picture I've not seen before. That's pretty interesting. That's obviously the poster that we know. And it's a quad poster. I'm looking for that. I'm actually watching a poster which is not that poster. It's not that poster. Temple of Death. Yes, it was actually called Temple of Death, but before, wasn't it? Oh, look at Robert Watts there. Wow. Kathleen Kennedy. She was actually in it, wasn't she? She was actually one of the dancing girls at the beginning. Frank Marshall looks a bit different now. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't look any bloody different, though. I'm sure she's got a portrait in her loft. Oh, the first draft of Temple of Doom. That's going to be interesting. Oh, this book. I've said it again, I know. I'm sorry. I've got to find another word for interesting. Fascinating. Is that actually? That's not Harrison Ford, is it? No. I mean, that'd be interesting. Oh God, I've said it again. I want to get one of my shirts and do that, and actually do this cosplay as well. Obviously, it's going to be mostly the same things, but I want to rip the shirt and I want to rip the pants. So yeah, I want to do Raiders obviously first, and I'm trying to get it more. I've decided I want to get it more authentic than I probably should really, but it's because I need a bandage on my head as well. It's getting me. I'm pretty obsessed at the moment. Can you tell? That I've not seen that bit. That's a good picture. Yeah, and the joke with the having the gun, but that's meant to be before Raiders, so it doesn't really work. Temple of Doom, I do like Temple of Doom. I'm rewatching them. I really enjoyed all of them. I am going to watch them again. They're coming on Disney Plus this week, aren't they? So I'm going to watch all the young Indies. And I'm going to watch all the... I'm hoping they're going to be in HD, in full HD, 4K. I'm sure there will be. So I'm looking forward to watching them again. Cool. Just like you're saying, these pictures are some things you've probably not even seen before. I know I haven't. I have seen so many documentaries, so many pictures, and I've had all the books, and it's just nice to have this. Dan Aykroyd there, look. It's nice to see all the different pictures as well. I think I once drew that in art class at school. Yeah, that's how old I am. Drew Susan. I love him. I don't make posters like that anymore. I have seen that as a quad poster, but it's not got Indy, it's just got the heroes back. I've seen that for £45, which is not bad. Indiana Jones and the Monkey King. The Monkey King. I'm not going to say it. That'd be quite fascinating to read about as well. The earlier scripts for that and how that got together. Seen that obviously. And storyboards. Oh, that'll be good. Oh, lovely storyboards. Yeah. I would like a book. I wonder if there's a book of storyboards. I'd like that. I know there's the Star Wars storyboards. I think I've got that somewhere. I mean, yeah, I've definitely got that somewhere. Didn't have time to build it to scale. That's funny. That is funny. That is funny. The banter they have together, yeah. That does make that film, I think. Really does. I hope they bring that boat out. I'd like to get that boat. I've seen like models of it before, and I've always wanted to get the figures to put in it and do that scene. So hopefully I'll find one of those boats. And if Hasbro don't make one, I can try and find one to put the figures in. There we go. This would be quite good to read as well. What the plans actually were and if they actually changed. Because you don't hear much. You hear everything about Raiders of the Lost Ark, but you don't hear much about the later films, about how much they changed. Obviously, like I was saying earlier about the parts from Raiders that were cut out were put in Temple of Doom. Mr. Jones, you call him Doctor. It's not a bad film. It's not, obviously not the best, but I don't think it's a bad film. It lacks a lot of the heart though, I think. And again, too much CGI put into it. But it is exciting. They are good. Good, exciting chases and things like that in it. I do like it. It just loses its way in the middle, I think. Look at this. That's quite interesting. I could do taking a picture of that, but it's not the older Indy. It's the same stuff, I know. But look, how the gun. This is quite nerdy. Sorry. How the gun is made an imprint in the leather of that. I mean, things like that, so little details like that, are just bloody amazing. And it does look like the whip clip is actually on the gun belt there and not on the trousers that I thought it was. I need to check that. Yeah, it's worth watching. Obviously, if you're watching the other three, you're going to watch this as well. So yeah, looking forward to. I mean, look at this. I mean, there was a lot of CGI, but they still did models for it. You know what I mean? They still do models as well as CGI. Obviously, you've got to have CGI. I mean, the only CGI that was in Raiders of the Lost Ark was actually at the end, wasn't it? With the. I mean, a lot of it was animation. It wasn't computer generated because it wasn't computer, but it was animation. But you know what I mean. So it wasn't till the end that you saw that, and this obviously you can't have a practical mushroom cloud, can you? And things like that. You just but it's just too much of it, like the monkeys and we won't go there. But there we go. I thoroughly, I can't even speak. I thoroughly recommend this book, totally and utterly. If you love Indy and if you're watching this channel, you must go. You know what I do. This is a must. So, I mean, if you want more info on this, let me know. And if you want to see more, if you want to see my Star Wars one, I can't remember if I've done the Star Wars one. If you want to see my Star Wars one, I have that as well. Let me know if you want to see that. But until next time, thank you for watching. And may the toys be with you.
Look, Armando, what? Come on. Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.